here's another story here that I want to cover. Yeah, this story here, this next one here, pretty crazy, man. Have you guys heard about the reparations thing in California? Yeah, the reparations thing in California, it is crazy. I believe there's like a couple of different ones out there. I know that San Francisco, the city of San Francisco, had its own reparations thing where they wanted each black person to get. I'm trying to remember the number off the top of my head because it's such a crazy number, like $1.2 million or something like that. And now the state of California have their own reparations task force too. And by the way, guys, there was never slavery in California. California was a free state, but you got the liberals out there that are trying to dupe black people into thinking they're going to get a whole bunch of money. And that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, you actually have activists now. Guess what? Guess what they're demanding now? Not 1.2 million, not 3, not 4 million. They are demanding a staggering $200 million for every black person. 200 million, guys. And guess what? You know that California don't have that money. California does not have this money. This is just off the wall crazy, but they actually think that that black people deserve $200 million when they don't have this money. Now think of this, guys. Economically, let's say that they actually did pay $200 million, which black people, by the way, you're never going to see this money. You're never going to see this money because this money doesn't exist. But even if you did, guess what? When you start pumping that much money out, man, inflation is going to go out there on steroids. And I guess to uneducated people, guys, let's say that if you gave every single person $1 million on the planet, every single person, guess what? That $1 million means nothing. It'll turn into a penny. I'm not joking. Because the thing about economics is the science of scarcity. No, scarcity is the problem. And what happens in a free market economy? You're going to sell to the highest bidder. That's the way it works. But anyway, activists demand $200 million for each and every quote unquote African American in California. Yeah. $200 million. I don't know how they came up with that number, but the woke activists want $200 million. Reparations for black residents in California are forecasted to cost $800 billion, more than twice the cost of the state's entire annual budget. That's why I said they don't have any money. They don't have the money for this. But activists say that is not enough. Last night, the task force approved recommendations for reparations payments, which are due to the state legislature by July 1st, Breitbart reported. The 9-member task force called on lawmakers to make a formal apology for slavery. Well, guess what? All the slaves, they died a long, long time ago. There's no slaves around now. But anyway, and also requested that those eligible will receive cash down payments. Oh, my God. The task force was assembled 2 years ago following the George Floyd incident. California was the first state to assemble a reparations task force. If passed, a black resident older than 71 would be eligible to receive more than $1.2 million in reparations, as reported by Fox. But during last night's meeting, An activist known as Reverend Tony Pierce called out the task force for being fearful of getting the black community what they really deserve. Quote, you know that the numbers should be equivalent to what an acre was back then. We were given 40, okay? You were given 40 acres. You know what that number is? You keep trying to talk about now, yet your research back to slavery, and you say nothing about slavery. Nothing. So the equivocal number from the 1960s for 40 acres to today is $200 million for each and every African American. Now he's talking about slavery. Now, keep in mind, guys, California didn't have slavery. It was never a slave state. But these people out there, I mean, think of this. Even if like Gavin Newsom said, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. If he's signing the law, we're going to give every single black person $200 million. Guess what? You'll never see a dime. That money does not exist. It doesn't exist. Oh my God. Then they got a communist Black Panther person here too. Look, Pierce was joined by former Black Panther Party chairwoman Elaine Brown, who called for people to turn to demonstrations. You know what demonstrations means, right? Yeah, that means start burning up stuff. Burning up stuff. This is what they want. Okay, yeah, this is it right here about San Francisco. The city of San Francisco sanctioned reparations committee has recommended every black resident be allocated $5 million. That's San Francisco. I believe it was like 1.2 million at first, and San Francisco said 5 million. Now, the state of California, the activists are demanding $200 million, guys. $200 million. And the free state of California never had slavery. Never. Not once. I mean, my goodness, guys, these people are really, really out of their minds. They are completely out of their minds on this whole thing. California never had slavery. And these people don't understand how economics works. I mean, even if they had that kind of money, I would not give out that kind of money to anybody, because I believe the vast majority of people aren't responsible with that kind of money. They're going to go out there and they're going to blow it. They're going to blow it on a whole bunch of things that have no value. I mean, you may be thinking, man, 200 million? How can they blow that? Trust me. Look at people that win the lottery. Like 70% of those people are broke within 5 years. They would blow it. They would blow it. California, man, stop it, man. Just go out there and tell the people of your state that we don't have this money. We're never going to have this money at all. How about investing in education? Now, you guys know I have a major problem here with the public school system. I really, really do. But if they were actually able to start educating students, teaching them how to read and write, the way economics actually works, because $200 million, man, is going to cause nothing more than chaos. That money doesn't exist. And guess what? In the next 50 years, you know, when you don't get your money, you're still going to be screaming for reparations. And you people in California, you're screaming for reparations, so you're saying that you were a slave. You are a slave to the state. That's what you're saying. Well, that's pretty much why the welfare system actually works. I mean, the welfare system is designed to break up families. Nothing more. Nothing more. That's why the welfare state actually does exist. So go right ahead. Marry the state. Keep being married to the state. Keep depending on your failing government. Unbelievable.